welcome you here inside our studios. This is Phillies Postgame Live, brought to you by Cure Auto Insurance. Amy Fiddle and Ricky Vitalico. And yes, the Phillies complete the sweep, 4 games in Colorado. That coupled with the 3 games here at home. That is a 7-game sweep. First time in franchise history they've had a season series sweep of 7 games or more, and they did it against the Rockies. And yes, I know it's the Rockies, and they only have 5 wins. But hey, you got to win. You got to 8.
Come on, give them a break.
I was being facetious, but yes, you got to beat who you beat, and that's what they took care of business today.
Yeah, they did. They took care of business. I didn't think either team looked like they were really interested in playing this game
Getaway
today.
day.
As a matter of fact, I thought a lot of bad swings offensively from both teams. The Phillies just did enough to win, and I think that's the way they're going to feel getting on the plane. They're going to say, win is a win. We came out of there with 4 wins, and that's what we went in there for. I would say for the other 3 games, they pounded the baseball around the ballpark. And when you really look deeper into this game, I mean, the Phillies were 1 for 9 with runners in scoring position. You're talking about a couple swings, and this game's 8, 9, 10, nothing. So it is what it is. You take this game for what it's worth. That is probably – the Phillies didn't play a sloppy game. They played a very let's hurry up and get out of here game.
Yeah, truly a getaway day game.
That's what it felt like, and that's what it looked like at times, especially from the at-bats. But what it is that they're going to be happy. They're going to get on the plate. You heard Max Kepler after the game. He didn't sound too thrilled.
He's like, we did it.
He ripped on the umpire. He was a little unhappy with a couple of his swings.
He didn't go.
I just think this whole thing is all it's all good for the Phillies right now.
Yes, it is. They've got a season-high 7-game winning streak. And
because you're getting a little bit off the plate, you try to expand outside of that, and what's going to happen is that the Rockies were going to go up there swinging. The other thing is, and this is pretty incredible, Ranger went 6 2/3 innings, right? He had 3 hard hit balls against him. That tells me you're missing barrels. Why? Because you're changing speeds well, you're hitting your spots, and you have movement within the strike zone. All 3 of those.
And that's what kept the hitters really off balance today. And you saw there, he has a 3.70 ERA right now, but he's 1-3 run in his last 3 starts. He had a really tough, and you mentioned it.
His first start.
It was like spring training. It looked like it. He was rough around the edges. He was very rusty, but he's calmed down, and this is more of what we're used to seeing from him.
Yeah, I think he's just gotten himself into a little bit of a groove. I think sometimes when you start later, you have to understand something. These are Major League Baseball players. Well, maybe not today, that he's facing most of the time. And, when you go into games, and if you're just coming out of your spring training form and they've been playing for a month, it's not going to be that easy.
Yeah.
It's kind of like Rangers playing in his first game of the season, and these guys are all primed and ready to go.
Yeah, the 20th game.
It's just not an easy thing to do, and Ranger fought through it in that first game. It was awful. It really was awful, and it had some people scratching their heads, I think. And now that Rangers got things under control, and it looks like he's the same old.
Yeah, and that's what you need.
Which is a good thing, and you should be able to get away with that.
You can hear here's what we're looking at for the bullpen. You saw Kirkering come in at a third of an inning, really just 1 pitch right there. Strom, he came in for the 8th, just had 1 hit, and then you can see clean sheets all around. Clean sheet, little clean sheet.
Little hockey talk there.
Hockey talk, soccer talk. Whatever it is, it was clean for the bullpen, clean for everybody, including for Ranger Suárez. But it also has to be good for Rob Thomson as his team gets the sweep of a 4-game set against the Rockies. Let's check it with Topper now.
Saying before we came here that this club hasn't necessarily played that well here at Coors Field. Given not just that you hit and you pitch, how pleased are you with a 4-game sweep?
Yeah, really pleased. Like I said at the start of it, we haven't played very well here, but we played well. The day we don't necessarily score many runs, we really pitched well and played good defense. So, it was very satisfying.
What makes Marquez kind of a difficult matchup for you guys?
He keeps you off balance. He's got the fastball that rides, and then he's got the sinker, and he keeps you off balance with breaking balls. So, yeah, he pitched well. He really did.
What did you like most about Rangers out here?
He was getting ahead. He kept battling. They put some good at-bats on him, really. But I thought his stuff was okay. Getting ahead in the count. Just keeping him off balance.
First time in a few days we've seen the Kirkering, Strom, Romano trio at the back end there. What did you think of them?
It was great. Kirkering, I thought he was outstanding. 1 pitch. Pop up. I thought he was great. Yeah, but Strami, you know, the velocity started to creep up as he got into the outing, and Romano was fantastic.
With Ranger, does it kind of feel like he's getting to look more like Ranger after that first start? His last three, he's kind of more like himself.
Yeah, I think he looks really good.
How does this compare to how he looked in the first half last year when he was on that real good run, Ranger?
Well, today, you know, you take into account being in Colorado and all that stuff, so I think his stuff played down a little bit, but he's been really good. Really good. I don't know how to compare it, but he's been really good.
You know, we're almost to Memorial Day. Like the trends you see your offense, like the 2-strike hits, the opposite field hits, the kind of adjustments maybe that you guys were asking him to make. Do you see that as not just like an early season thing now, that you see it as sustainable and something that this lineup can do?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, and I think that they're really working at it. They work at it every day. You know, we've made some adjustments, and I think they'll continue to do it.
Like Bryce's hit that are going the other way. And
Yeah, a couple of timely hits with Kepler and Harp. So Harp looks good to play right now.
I mean, you asked these guys to make a lot of adjustments, and you feel like that's been well received.
Absolutely.
Internally.
Yeah.
How big of a factor do you think it was in the series, just being able to capitalize on their mistakes when those opportunities presented themselves?
Yeah, I think it helped for sure, but I think we played good baseball too, and I thought we swung the bats very well in the first 3 games. We got some timely hits today. You know, we pitched very well today, but you know, I think we did capitalize, but I don't think that was the main factor.
You bring the infield in the second inning, Coors Field. Was that just kind of like a feel like this might be a low score? I mean, that's kind of unusual. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's unusual because the guy at the plate is not going to steal a base.
Okay.
If it's Doyle or if it's somebody else, I might
Sure.
play him back because it could turn into 2 runs.
Okay.
Quite frankly, there wasn't much to talk about on the other side. Like
No.
from the Rockies, they were pretty quiet all game long. They did have a triple in the ball game, and I mean, we probably should talk about that because that was an interesting time in the ball game.
A little bit yeah.
A triple, 1 out, and Rob Thomson brought the infield in.
Yeah, that was
Gets
especially
a
in
ground
that.
ball to short after that.
Well played by Topper there. Let's check in now with Ranger Suárez after this one.
How did you feel about this outing today?
Bien, bastante bien, especialmente en estos estadios en este estadio que la bola como que no te hacen mucho los picheos, pero el core estaba muy bueno, estaba trabajando bien, y todos mis picheos en general estaban bien.
Good. I mean, especially in this environment, in this type of stadiums, where your pitchers may not do the same that they usually do, like movement-wise. But the cutter was working well, and you know, I just felt good.
Overall, after missing the first month, 4 starts in now, 1 deep in the last 3, how do you just feel overall and where your stuff's at?
Sí, en general, luego de perderte un mes, te ha ido bien,
Sí.
te ha ido lejos en las últimas 3 series. Como tú
Sí,
decías,
sí.
en general.
Como dije la vez pasada, mientras más vaya lanzando, mejor me voy sintiendo. Hoy fue una de esas que me sentí bastante bien.
Yeah, it's like I said last week. As I keep pitching, I'll keep feeling better, and it's just what happened today. Just today was one of those outings where I felt really good.
Well, why do you think the team's been able to get on such a good roll the last 2 weeks, maybe more than that, but the 7-game winning streak now?
¿Por qué tú crees que el equipo está en buena racha en las últimas 2 semanas? Una racha de 7 juegos seguidos.
No, mira, yo creo que somos un equipo, estamos ligando las dos cosas, bateo y picheo. Yo creo que si mantenemos ese ritmo, vamos a estar bien durante toda la temporada.
I mean, we're a team, right? And we're rallying in the right ways with our pitching, with our hitting, with our offense too. So if we keep doing the things the right way, I think we're going to be in a good spot.
When you come out of a game with a couple guys on base like that, is it stressful for you to watch how the rest of that inning unfolds, and just what you think of Kirker getting out of that one pitch?
Cuando tú sales de un inning dejando gente en base, te estresa un poquito, ver cómo termina el inning y luego veas que quieren salir.
No, solo ya sabemos la clase de bullpen que tenemos, siempre confío en ellos. Salir en esa situación no me preocupa porque yo sé que el bullpen va a hacer el trabajo y hoy se hizo.
Not at all. I mean, we all know the type of bullpen we have, and I always trust my guys that they're going to do their job. So, not stressful at all. I always trust that they're going to come through, and today that just happened. Like the bullpen came through.
That's what I'm talking about. That it was boom, boom, in and out.
Yeah, it was really quick, and that's when, and a little behind the scenes, we don't like to talk about how quickly the game is moving because then it's going to slow down. But
game was flying.
You were thinking about it. You really thought about it, like the game was flying. We never said it. Ricky would have had our
Somebody
heads.
did say it, but I'll keep that.
Maybe it was like in the 5th or 6th inning we said it, but in the beginning you can't say that because Ricky will have your head. But it really did. And we joke about how it did seem like a getaway day, but it did seem like a getaway day for the players too.
Certain days you kind of get like this, like antsy at the plate.
Yeah,
you
like
just
you're
want
ready
to get to where you're going, and it's just one of those things. You know, the Phillies went in there. They did what they had to do. They won the game. It doesn't matter how it looked.
Yeah.
I thought Ranger was outstanding. Defensively, they played pretty well with the exception of that Castellanos play. I thought he overran the ball. I think he probably could have played that a little bit differently and a lot of times would have, but he's probably just not used to Coors Field.
Yeah.
It's so big out there. You just take your shot at everything, and hopefully everything goes well after that. But, I mean, when you look at fundamental baseball, they played well.
Yes,
you look at what the Rockies did this whole series. They were kicking balls all over the place, throwing balls into the outfield. I mean, it was I'm happy that I don't have to see them again because, quite frankly, this series, I mean, you want to win series, but when you look at the series, it wasn't exactly the most enthralling series I've ever watched.
It was fun to watch home runs.
Well, it was fun. No, it was fun to watch on the Phillies side, but that other team.
Yeah.
I don't think they have a player that would start on another team. They might have one.
Well, we'll talk.
No, we don't want to talk about that.
We won't talk about that. Well, the Phillies played well, and they are a first-place team in actuality and on the field. You can see the 2 games clear of the Mets there, starting to pull away just a little bit. The Braves now 7 back, and there are the Marlins and the Nationals still operating baseball teams.
Kind of right where it should be.
Exactly.
That's
That's exactly
what
where
it should look like.
Exactly where it should be. All right, we're going to be back to wrap up the show and look ahead just a bit as they continue the march out west. We've got some late games coming up.